The use of anime girls to promote local governments is not an unusual practice nowadays, but of course everything has to start somewhere. And in this case, it started in the 1st of March 2001 when this image appeared. These are Mahoro-chan and Yamato-kun. They were used to decorate the top page of the website of Yamato Town in the prefecture of Saga, with illustrations being replaced once in a while. Yamato Town was rather small, with 22,000 inhabitants and a rich history that dated back to the Jomon and Yaoi periods, ancient Japan, and it was portrayed in their designs. The website and illustrations got some attention at first, posted on some popular blogs, and it did manage to remove the stern image you would usually see on a town hall website. But what really set things in motion was a year and 4 months later, after Mahoro-chan and Yamato-kun's first appearance, a thread was posted on the Hankaku Nijigen board in Pink Channel. Hankaku Nijigen being a board focused on illustrations, and Pink Channel being an adult-oriented board within 2 Channel at the time. The thread was called Saga Prefecture Yamato Town's image character Mahoro-tan, with the OP linking to pictures of Mahoro posted on Yamato Town's website. Some people found it humorous, some found it surprising this was a town government website, some were celebrating the moe, some thought Mahoro could be the next big thing after Ekoko. On the 22nd of July 2002, the website surpassed 50,000 visits. On the 28th, it surpassed 100,000 visits. The very next day, it surpassed 150,000 visits. Obviously, the people running the Yamato Town website took notice of it, and they were actually concerned if the sudden load wasn't troubling their internet provider, and considered changing the contents of the website. But things calmed down before that happened, and so they were just happy to see people talking about Mahoro-chan, Yamato-kun, and the town of Yamato. From then, Mahoro-chan and Yamato-kun became the face of the website, being used even more throughout it, and they even opened a gallery so people could look at older art, and even posts started being written with "It's Mahoro," as if she's writing the posts herself. Several fan sites started being open for Mahoro. She was managing to gather a good amount of fans. Results for Mahoro's age ballot on one of those fan websites: first place, middle schooler, but with the smell of a child, 14 years old. Sensei, no matter how you see it, the targeted clientele were not composed of proper people at all. Yeah, she had fans. Certain kind of fans. And these fans started creating. There were definitely a good amount of art of her coming out. Someone made a typing game teaching you how to speak in Saga dialect. Wow, it's like we're speaking a whole different language. There were doujinshi coming out, there were figures made out of her. One individual that goes by Don, who also ran one of the fan websites, created several flash videos on Mahoro and the town of Yamato, parodying key visual novels. At least one of them got seen by people from the Yamato town government. At one point, a new character started appearing, this little red-haired girl, and she was created as a mascot for the local industry and commerce tourism. They requested people to send name suggestions. She eventually ended up being named Mikoto.
Miko Miko Nas! 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 最後にもう一度はい Miko Miko Nas!
And she was something like a little sister to Mahoro. Results for Mikoto age ballot on the same fan website. 9 years old! She's definitely younger than Mahoro-tan. Single digit! Oh, okay, let's see if the second place answer is a little bit more proper. I want to become the cushion that Mikoto-tan sits on. Yep, not surprised, me too. The people who sent name suggestions even got gifted with a CD containing behind-the-scene talks about the character designs and full-sized drawings. Each CD had a drawing on the front, and the person who sent the chosen name also got 2 illustrations. Mahoro on her bed hugging a pillow, and Mikoto on the hot springs while enjoying what seems to be coffee. Beyond the internet, the Mahoro boom caught the attention of print publications, appearing in magazines such as Tech Win, Dime, Weekly ASCII, Yahoo Internet Guide, and Netrunner. as well as appearing in local newspapers with a lovely original illustration, and even making some TV appearances. She even ended up getting one of those Netrunner cards. This cover might seem very familiar for those who watched the OS-tan video, but this time no one really complained because for Mahoro-chan and Yamato-kun, this was good. Well, no one complained besides Don, who apparently bought 11 magazines and wasn't able to even get one card of Mahoro-chan and Yamato-kun. Now, one thing that people started requesting was Mahoro-chan goods. And while the people behind Mahoro-chan thought it would be cool if it happened, they received a call from a company wanting to make one. And it ended up being a phone strap, which took like a year to be sold. It's fun to see them clearly not confident at all if this phone strap was a good idea on these posts. They never thought of monetizing this character, and it shows. The website was born from a group of 6 people who call themselves the Internet Technique Research Society, gathered together for the sole purpose to make a website. The creator of Mahoro-chan even said in an interview for Asahi Shimbun in 2007 regarding local moe characters, "It was a small town, so they let us do whatever we wanted." You can feel how old this website is when they're saying things like, "You can even connect to the internet with your phone nowadays." So the strap was sold in a local event, the Mahoroba Festival, and with each purchase they even gave out a card to promote sales. The straps did actually sold well, much better than they thought actually. They made 1,000 units, 700 sold on this event, and the rest sold in consecutive events to which they ran out in 2 months. And as proof that Mahoro was known across the country, there were people who drove 10 hours from the Kansai region to get the straps. Really nice for a town with 22,000 people. Other things that could be counted as goods are towels that were handed out for participants in a local race and fans given out for the fireworks festival. You could really feel her presence in Yamato was becoming much more than just a website character. She started being seen on the real world. A local roadside station was open and it was decorated with Mahoro-chan and Yamato-kun. She could be seen on the parking lot, the shop front boards, inside the building, on pamphlets and on the bags. She could be seen in signs around the local iris garden, she could be seen around the local museum, and in a video played inside of it. She could be seen as a board in the local library, she could be seen on the sign directing to the local mountain climbing trail, and you could even see her inside the town hall building itself. Everything going well, threads were lively, that's the wrong Mahoro. Although there were some jokes of plagiarism, technically Mahoro-chan, the mascot, was born in 1997, but only used in print form at the time, so Mahoro-chan does precede Mahoro-san.
ちっちゃな胸大きな瞳ああまほろちゃんを知ってるかい
Oh dear, that's a drawing of me. Let's move on from this. More characters started appearing, such as this green-haired girl with not much appearances, although it is clear she has a crush on Yamato-kun, and this Inari goddess, who was the character featured on the page regarding the cultural and historical information on the website. However, this is about the time Mahoro's position was at risk. It wasn't any sort of real drama, the issue was that Yamato town itself was not going to exist anymore, because it was one of the towns to be merged into the expanded city of Saga in October 2005. And as a result, governmental information was going to be done throughout the website of the city of Saga. And any other website will be deleted as not to cause confusion. So unfortunately, all people could do was to wait for the inevitable demise of these characters. On the meantime, Mahoro-chan and Mikoto-chan appeared on tissues given out to promote voting for the new governmental body, one that will last about 8 months, and fans got to learn that the name of the fox goddess was Mizuho-san, like a month before the closure of the website. And ultimately, they all said their goodbyes with one last illustration. 6 months later, she appeared again in the website of Saga on the kids section. It seems the new government saw value on using her to pretty up their site. And you might be thinking, oh, she turned into a kids character? Not really. She was also used on posters promoting paying your taxes through direct debit and posters about public lessons teaching people about diabetes. She appeared around the road to remind people to pick up their dog's feces. She was put on one of the official vehicles for the city of Saga. She was on a poster about a new merger of towns into the expanded city of Saga. I like this one where she's used on a sticker refusing door-to-door sales, while on baseball attire because it's likely the only drawing they had where she looks angry. She managed to set herself as one of the mascots of Saga, population of over 200,000. It was also about this time other local moe mascots were on the come up. She still had good enough appeal. In March 2009, the museum on Old Yamato town decided to give out Mahoro bookmarks to visitors. In March 2008, they got 193 visitors. But in March 2009, they got 649. There were people visiting from Tokyo and Gunma to get it. That's a 6-hour trip with the Shinkansen. You know, looking at this Shimon-chan, Mahoro-chan, it makes me think, Mahoro-chan is just a cosplay girl, isn't she? Am I crazy to think that? I mean, I get the school uniforms, the gym clothes and swimsuits, but why does she need to dress as a maid? Why does she need to wear a China dress? More than once? What is this? Nun playing a keyboard? Is this Hazuki from Tsukiyomi Moon Phase? Why am I complaining? I love being pandered to! Hell yeah! Miku Mahoro, cute! We're all cute! And she was being used to promote local businesses. In this case, this and 9 other cards were given to people who made purchases on Saga's Challenge Shop, a store employing disabled members of the community. Despite being a cosplay girl, what are some other details about Mahoro? Well, her name comes from the sentence written on the oldest book in Japan, the Kojiki, Yamato wa kuni no Mahoro ba, which means Yamato is this country's splendid place. One of her charm points is that she has a big variation of hair decorations. People say she's unfashionable when she has to dress normally, and that bothers her. Her specialty cooking is Sicilian rice, which is not really Sicilian cooking, it's local comfort food. Composed of white rice, vegetables, usually lettuce, tomato and corn, sauté meat and onions, topped with mayonnaise. There isn't really a definite reason as to why it's called Sicilian rice, but a strong theory is that, The Godfather was popular at the time this was created, that's it. There's over 50 shops selling it in Saga, which even warranted its own mascot, a kappa called Siciliana-chan. They even have a site for this, and I actually quite like the manga they posted there. Not much is said about her personality, but to me she gives more of a peaceful image, rather than an energetic one. Bright, but not hyper about it. Mahoro also took over the official Saga Twitter account for a while. You can see remains of that on some older tweets where she was talking cute, starting posts with "Ohamaho" and using kao emojis. But the artist told them, let's calm down a little bit, yeah? So they stopped. There were some campaigns done. Prepare Sicilian rice and tweet a picture. Get a Mahoro sticker. Upload a picture of Saga's Hinamatsuri venue. Get a Mahoro sticker. Upload a picture of Saga International Balloon Fiesta. Get a Mahoro sticker. Mahoro also seemed to have made friends on social media on the form of Kamuro-chan, who at the time was a mascot character of the town of Sakura in Chiba, and they even had a collaboration promoting energy. My goodness, she's also pretty cute. She's like an egg. I want to squeeze her head. Mahoro-chan could also be seen on short segments telling news about the town on TV by Saga television station. Yeah, Mahoro was doing really well. Until she wasn't. In 2015, Mahoro-chan graduated from her activities on Twitter and was eventually taken from the kid space in the website. It seems something regarding change of personnel behind the scenes led to this, as well as Saga changing their plan of action regarding Mahoro-chan. She was a very popular mascot in Saga. According to a popularity poll held by them, she was the most popular one, with Siciliana-chan just behind, but it's hard to say what exactly her position was in the new formed city of Saga, and she was also being used with the permission of the artist, but they didn't actually legally own her, so they seem to have changed their course of action. They didn't really replace her or get rid of her, it's more like they took her out of the spotlight and now no one's really there. There's a ton of mascots around that just do their own thing and they don't plan to have that specific one. However, that did kinda lead to apparently no new illustrations coming out, The last new drawings of Mahoro-chan seem to have been used in shirts for a volleyball competition. I cannot look at this one for too long, otherwise I'm gonna go insane. And this Mahou Shoujo Mahoro on Saga's Echo Plaza, created when they completed a small hydropower generator. There still remains many Mahoros around town. She still makes appearances on the Saga International Balloon Fiesta. She's placed on the door of porta potties to remember people not to drop their phones. It's something. In 2023 actually, the billboard directing to Kyoseki Park was replaced. On Google Maps you can see this is from 2022 and this is the one from 2024. Just a big Mahoro. It's very nice to see actually. Usually she does represent very well the old Yamato town part of Saga, so it's hard to believe she would be gone from that region. I'm sure you can see her in the museum to this day. You might be thinking that it would be nice if they did anything new with her, but as much as I grew to like her, I don't think they need to promote the town with Moe. Not anymore, they have Zombieland Saga, they have Franshushu, and I feel like if you have something like Zombieland Saga, you're just good, right? You don't need anything else. One of the people responsible for the Yamato website went on Twitter claiming they would do something new with her, and that was 5 years ago. And nothing really ended up happening, so unfortunately, it is what it is. She's not gone, but she's far from thriving. Guess you could say her presence is on a slight downward slope, where her image stops being used here and there, but I doubt it will fully disappear. However, as cliché as it might sound, a character really only dies when it's forgotten, and Mahoro-chan definitely still lives on the heart and mind of many. And it's because of these people that ultimately I am also here as another link passing down the tale of the first Moe town mascot. This would have been a sort of bittersweet way to end the video, right? It was nice, yeah? But turns out that just as I was in the middle of making this video, that person that I just mentioned, Mahoro Papa, yeah? His promise from 5 years ago? It seems he plans to deliver. He brought Mahoro-chan back on his department he's currently working, the War Bereaved Families Association, and she'll pray for perpetual peace along the new generation who lives in peace. And he seems to have the support of the original artist as well. This is also a bittersweet way to end it, isn't it? Yeah, that's nice. Here's for peace, and for more Mahoro-chan, Mikoto-chan, and maybe the other guy as well, what's his name? See ya!